So speaking of, it's been a week of training camp practices. We got Juanyeh Thomas coming up in just a few minutes, and then at some point later today, we're going to have Jerry Jones on the program. I wanted to get your thoughts. Now, obviously, Mike, if you want to jump in, I'm definitely interested, but after the first week of practices, who's on the rise and who might be slipping at Cowboys Training Camp? Mike, I assume you just go home and watch all these videos that get posted on social media from practice.
Heck yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I've actually been doing Rangers pre and post, which at this point, maybe watching Cowboys practice is better.
Oh, man.
But I will leave it at that. We'll get to Nuggets at 10:45. You guys, let's talk Cowboys Training Camp.
Let's do it. All right. The good news is I have more people that I think have gone up.
Dude.
Than potentially fallen.
Okay.
And it's just a week of practice.
When I hopped on with Reggie last night, Reggie and Fred on the Get Right.
How's Fred doing?
Fred's a good guy, man. It was good chatting with him for the first time. But when I hopped on with him last night, I started going through things, and I was like, man, I have more positive to talk about than negative, and that's not usually what I feel like I have at camp. Like, maybe I'll try to combat some negative sometime, but I just haven't seen as much negative aside from the stands. I know everybody will bring that up, and that's really
Well, ask Jerry about that.
far away from the important stuff of what's going on the field, I feel. But
Sure.
there's a lot more positive, like Nealand. Watching him, I'm like, man, all right, he can be a good player. He has a lot of work to do, and that's why, Kevin, the Cowboys are looking at other defensive ends at the moment because they know, that's not deep enough for us right now. But watching him play, I'm pretty impressed with a guy who is coming in, replacing Sam Williams, and doing some work out there right now.
Do you want me to go one at a time, or do you just want me to be like, here's
Go ahead,
a whole lot of people?
Yeah.
All right.
Are we going up or down, Aaron?
I'm going up.
All right.
So, man, I'm really glad I didn't say that the other way. That would have been bad.
I walked you right to the water.
So we will have him in this segment, but I think Juanyeh Thomas is another one that, like, you just see him around the play and around the ball so much that you're like, let's keep seeing this because this looks like a player that you're like, yeah, let's go.
Okay, I want to add to that because Jordan Lewis is on my list.
Okay.
Did you see him yesterday with all the pass breakups? He had one pass breakup that they said was a defensive holding, and he kind of lost it for a second.
And what I think happened, because I saw that too, I think they just threw that on so they could redo the fourth down.
Okay.
Because, I was talking with Christy and Chill about that, and they was like, no way. Like, they just did that to reset. And they're like, no penalty. But they were like, hey, yes, penalty.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
So, I do think that
I just heard it and was like, what? I didn't even see that at all.
I do think that was a clean pick. But, yes, I also got what you said. I was like, what?
And he wasn't lying to us when he sat down with us the other day, and he said, they're not just going to have me in the slot. He's been moving around, and so I've been very impressed with him. And Juanyeh Thomas playing a more natural position, too, is really nice to see him out there doing that.
I wanted to throw out one that I don't know if we've heard a lot so far. Chauncey Golston. Man, when I was watching the pass rush and the pass blocking individualized drills, like period 6, I think, yesterday, he was looking really, really good. And another thing that I loved about him is he's here to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I will juxtapose that with another player in just a minute. But you look at his body language, he's up, he's amped. And when he started getting in the drills, he was making noise again and again against the first team or most of the first team.
It's important for him because, he's in his third year, maybe fourth year. I think he's in his third year right now. And this is that time where you need to show up and be something. And now that, since the Cowboys have moved on from other players at that spot, it is time for him to make his, hey, I want this. So for you to see that, the coaches obviously see that too. Hopefully he'll get more opportunities. Obviously with the Sam Williams injury, that kind of gives him opportunities inside and outside on the defensive line.
A couple of offensive players I wanted to not the biggest names, but Kamonte Turpin and Rico Dowdle.
Turpin had a better day yesterday?
Yes, I think Turpin had a better day yesterday, and I think Dowdle has looked good. I really do. Like, more often than not, if you see a running play, you're like, oh, that was good. It's usually, or at least what I see is Snoop Connor or Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, I was going to point out, you mentioned, you were like, oh, Snoop had a really good run right there. And I noticed a couple of different really good runs from him already. And so it's one of those, like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
You go look at the roster, like, oh, yeah, that dude's on there.
Yeah.
But Dowdle has looked really good. This was asked to me last night also, Kevin, regarding the running back spot from, I think it was Fred that asked this. Is it they have to go scour the planet to find somebody else, or they're going to? I said I think they're going to give these guys every opportunity in the training camp games, in the preseason games to get that because the position right now you're like it's Zeke for sure.
Yeah.
And everything else.
And just early on, and he might be waiting to turn it up a gear. I don't think that Zeke looks particularly quick out at training camp, but I think Fred's on to something, and I think you're right as well. They'll give him every chance, but whether it's defense,
I don't know that Zeke's playing in these preseason games,
yeah.
but I think all these other guys are going to get their opportunity to prove that they could be the second guy.
And he might just be going at his own pace in training camp because he's like, hey, I'm getting older. I have to be smart about this. We've heard him say that plenty of times. It's just that pace that you see in training camps like, oh, I don't know what I thought I was going to see that I was going to be like, there you go, it's back. But I was maybe hoping for a little bit more, but it's only been a week so far.
And then on the other side of that, when cuts happen, that's where the Cowboys will go, is this guy better than our guy?
True.
So
now, on the flip side, I want to focus in on body language again, and I want to ask Jerry about this. Mazi Smith, he's not having a good camp so far. That is just my opinion. And he looks like he doesn't want to be out there. You've seen his positional coach get on to him again and again and again. Because not only is he struggling in some of these plays and some of these drills, but he's just out there like slumped over. And then I compared it. That's why I couldn't help but compare it to Golston, who's like, let's go. Next one. When's my next rep? And then you see Mazi, who's like, whatever. That's just what it feels like and what it looks like. And I don't think that's just my opinion because it looked like his positional coach was on him about that.
There are a couple of things I want to know about because he did get into a little bit of a scuffle the other day, and I don't remember if it was I think it was with another defensive lineman. I think it was a Tank that he kind of was having exchanged words with a little bit. But, man, look. They get heated out there. That happens.
Sure.
That also being said, I think I've seen him get in a scuffle with Brock Hoffman and some of the other offensive linemen. Now, that could be because Brock Hoffman talks so much S that he gets you into that mindset that you don't want to.
Sure.
You don't want to. You're like, I'm tired of this dude right now. But, yeah, I think, if things were going swimmingly for him and he was doing the things that, that are expected of him, he wouldn't have that type of body language unless that's his body language. Like maybe he's just that kind of guy. But, yeah, I've been watching and going, all right, what exactly is it? Because we keep hearing, I don't need him to do this. I need him to do this. Well, is he doing that well? Because there are times when I'm like, I don't see it. But I want him to do everybody wants him to do well.
Of course. I want nobody to be on the down list and everyone being like, up.
Yeah.
Another person is Trey Lance. Now, we talked about a couple of days ago, he did a really good practice. Yesterday was rough. He threw 2 interceptions that I'm like, I have no idea who that pass was even supposed to go to. And there was one other member of the media, I won't say what their name is, but I go, not a Trey day today. And that person responded, there's never a Trey day.
Oh, man.
And so it's early,
he needs
but
to chill with that. That's
okay. And he needs to. It seems to me.
Kevin really against Treys. That's all I know. Trey Young, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
It seems to me that the biggest issue Trey Young is having is on the outside. Trey Lance, yes, thank you.
Mike screwed you up
Trey
there.
Can't shoot. Trey Lance is the far outside portions of the field. Like when he goes to either sideline or even kind of close to either sideline, it's been kind of a rough go for him.
Yeah, and the biggest deal that Mickey's pointed out, and I've noticed as well, is pulling the trigger, just saying, hey, I'm going to throw the ball. Well, I'm going to see it's open. I'm going to throw it. He does have his legs to go to, and so I think he does recognize that's one of his abilities. He can take off running at any point, and he did that yesterday for a touchdown. But that's another question: was Mike McCarthy going? Yeah, but this guy was open. Was this guy was wide open here, and you didn't see it, and that's what we need to get to. There were times early in practice, Kevin, that he was the sharpest quarterback out there, and then some other things happened, and it kind of fell apart on him. But I think consistency is his biggest biggest downfall right now. because sometimes you'll go, wow, that was amazing, and then you'll go, oh, that was not good at all.
Somebody asked about Hunter Lipke. He's big. He's had some ups and downs, but they are using him in a lot of these packages, and sometimes even directly, giving the ball off to him as opposed to just using him in the fullback role. So just like looking at the reps so far, it feels like the Cowboys have a plan for him. I wanted to say I'm in neutral category on Brandon Cooks because I think he looks really good, but I thought he looked amazing last year, and then it took a while to get going in the season.
He had some really good plays yesterday with Dak.
Yes,
he and Dak created some space together, found him in the end zone multiple times. He did look really good yesterday. And Kevin, we saw it last year, just like you said. Yeah. We were coming in here going, holy crap, this could be 1,000-yard seasons for everybody.
Yep.
And then he wasn't used. And so that's one of the things where I'm hoping that without CD here, because I feel like him and CD already have all that in place, but without CD here, they're even growing that relationship more and that trust that, hey, I know what the route's supposed to be and I know where I'm supposed to be. You just deliver it.
Another person I want to just mention super quick, keep an eye out on Nahshon Wright. Today is a walkthrough or a mock game. Just keep an eye out on him today and tomorrow. And if he's still in the practice flow and doing good, that is a good thing for Cowboys fans.
Have you paid attention to kicking at all?
Not really. I honestly, I really haven't.
This is the first year, I think, in the years we've come out and been like, oh, man, we don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I've seen Aubrey and Anger walking around a lot, but I haven't seen them doing a whole lot. However, we did get the chance yesterday to talk with Juanyeh Thomas after practice. So let's go to that, count the swear words, but also listen in for one of his teammates disputing one of his skills.
Back here with Juanyeh Thomas on the field on 105.3 The Fan now. Hopefully this will pick your spirits up. Eric Hendricks just came by and he stopped. He goes, that was fun with you guys. So what goes into a fun interview that you're not like, ugh, this interview's the worst?
A fun interview for me is you throw in questions outside of ball. Because, you know what I'm saying, players really get tired of answering questions about ball. Just ball. Because we talk about it every day, you feel me? So I feel like for me, a good interview is like asking me some questions outside of ball.
Like with Jordan Lewis the other day, I was asking about the NBA Olympic team, the basketball team, and asking his opinion on the Mavs.
Why we're so terrible at 3-on-3 basketball so far. If you had to be dropped into the Summer Olympics and you have to compete in a sport, what are you competing in?
Let's see.
You got canoe slalom.
Let's see.
Ping pong.
Basketball. They got to put me on the USA team. Man, boy. Basketball. For real. Jalen Tolbert hating because he can't shake me.
So they're not taking Brown, but they're taking you?
Yes,
okay.
Me.
All right.
Me, I'm telling you.
Fair.
Yeah.
What would be the worst sport for you then, just out of curiosity? Gymnastics?
Anything swimming.
Okay.
All right.
Done for. I'm going to drown.
Oh, man, that's not...
No.
Man, I can float, but I can't swim.
Okay.
That is
so
the
lazy
bare
river.
essential. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a raft, and I can cruise down the river on a raft there a little bit.
Now, I know we were having some fun, but what constitutes a good practice for you? Because when I'm just watching, we were all over the ball today, and I was like, this is a good practice, but maybe you're like, nah.
Honestly, I'll say a good practice, not just for me, but for the team is I can go out there and do what I'm supposed to do and make a play, but if we all not doing what we're supposed to do, it's not a good practice. So I feel like I can go out there and make a play. If I make a play and everybody else doing their job, it's a good practice. Really just everybody doing their job, everybody making plays, everybody know what they're doing. That's a great practice, you know what I'm saying?
And then Zach Martin, I know at the very beginning of training camp, he goes, first day, good day. Now stack.
Yeah.
How do you guys, it's been about a week.
Yeah.
How do you guys think y'all have been doing in terms of stacking good practices?
We've been doing good. I feel like, I'm not even going to lie, I feel like today we kind of went back a little bit, just a little bit. But see, that's the thing about camp is it's hard. It's hard to keep stacking and being the same way you were today, it's yesterday and stuff. So it's like you gotta find a way to keep stacking and keep getting better. But for us, Mike preaches that every morning in the team meeting. So you know what I'm saying. So he just burns it into our brains. So
does he say it's just like anything else?
Yeah, literally.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Literally.
How tough is it to keep good body language? Because I'm not gonna lie, like we've been out there, you see it.
Yeah.
you get, not you, but people get negative body language maybe because of what they're doing. Like,
Right.
how do you break away from that?
Man, see, that's all the stuff you do in the off season, like your training outside of the building, like that. Like, sorry. Excuse me.
I got a marker.
Yeah. So like the off season teaches you. You know what I'm saying? If you tired, you gotta stand tall. It ain't no putting your hands on your hips on your side. You feel what I'm saying? So that's really something you do in the off season. And then coming in first training with the team, Sid and Kendall does a great job of not like letting us slack off or try to be soft. You know what I'm saying? They tell us, you know what I'm saying, stand tall. When you tired, you don't want to show the opponent that you tired, you feel me? So that's something we preach in the off season for real. And now we come out here, we got to, you know what I'm saying, fight it.
All right, last one. Open field tackle to save a touchdown or interception at the 50-yard line?
Open field tackle to save a touchdown, because I feel like that'll be more memorable, and I feel like the team will appreciate it more.
There you go.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And then like, everybody will be talking about that for a long time. Like, oh, he saved a touchdown, you know what I'm saying? A pick, that's going to come. Everybody get him. You feel
Coach
what I'm saying?
is highlighting.
Yeah. Facts.
And if you don't run the pick back, does Blaine come by and he's like,
I'm going to catch the ball and toss it to him so he can run it in.
yeah. Awesome.
There you go, Juanyeh Thomas right here on 105.3 The Fan. And if you were curious, that was Jalen Tolbert who walked by during that answer, and he's like, "Man, whatever." he did not seem to agree with Juanyeh Thomas being on the hoops team for the Olympics.